Hey everybody, I'm meeting with Doug Cohen, Sandler Training, and he's on the East Coast of Florida.
Yes.
And I just want to ask him a few questions, kind of fill you in on his story and how he's became a sales leader. So maybe Doug, you can just sort of share with me how you got into the world of sales.
So that's a great question. Actually, I started out more as an entrepreneur, and I'm still an entrepreneur. But my role when we started my other business prior to Sandler, as one of the owners of that company, it was in the litigation consulting space, just a fancy way of saying we worked for lawyers. My job as one of the owners was to sell, first and foremost, because revenue generation was key, obviously. But it was also to identify, hire, and train salespeople as we grew the business. So I've always been in sales. Always been in sales for, close to 30 years now.
And how did you get connected to Sandler? Was that something you applied in that business?
Yeah, so it's an interesting story, because I think as a business owner, one of the things that I noticed in my prior life, prior to Sandler, is I thought we did a really good job training. I thought we did a good job with our people, and we grew our business to 350 full-time people over 18 years. And I thought we did a good job with training. So I was aware of Sandler because that was kind of the space that I was in. When my company was purchased by a public entity, they used another sales training organization, but I always valued it. I think you can learn from all of them that are out there. But what appealed to me about Sandler and why I ended up owning a Sandler training center is I understood from an owner's perspective that you can't just teach someone how to sell in a day or a 2-day seminar. It really has to be ongoing, incremental reinforcement. And that model and that methodology appealed to me. That's how I ended up doing what I'm doing.
No, absolutely. So obviously you've been in sales for a long time. How has sales changed from when you did it then, maybe in the middle of your career, to where it is today as the trainer, teaching big organizations and small, like ourselves?
Yeah. So I think I'll start out with what's remained the same, right?
Sure.
When I look at people who end up in sales, whether they're owners of businesses like yourself or they're frontline salespeople or sales managers, I always get asked the question, well, what do I look for? How do I find the people that are right for selling? And the answer that I give them often surprises them, because it's not about the persuasiveness and how good someone is at convincing someone to buy something. It's more about, do they care enough about that prospect to really be present and listen and be able to ask really good questions. And I think for me, if I think about how sales has remained the same or how it's changed, what's remained constant is that ability, that skill set to listen and to ask good questions is what makes...
To connect with people.
And to connect with people.
Asking the right questions.
Right, asking the right questions and not going into a situation trying to sell somebody something. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that to me is what has remained constant. Now technology's changed. I mean, with Sandler, the different technologies that are available, integrating Alexa and artificial intelligence with teaching people how to sell and giving them access to resources so they can continue learning, that's changed dramatically over the years.
And what would be one piece of advice that you can give to any sales rep that's watching this today?
The best piece of advice I can give to anybody who is either an ongoing sales rep or they're a sales manager or even an owner of a business is just listen and ask questions. And when I say listen, I mean really listen, not just look like you're listening. And
a lot of people are good at that.
Right, look like you're listening, but be thinking in your head about what you're going to ask next. It's not about you, it's really about the person that you're talking to. And I think that's probably the best piece of advice that I can give.
That's awesome. And my last question before I let Doug go here.
Okay.
I know you work on a lot, you're very into a lot of great hobbies. What inspires you?
I think what inspires me are people that are passionate about whatever they're doing, whether it's working out or it's their business.
You're an avid swimmer.
Swimming, yeah. I'm on a U.S. Masters swim team, so I'm an avid swimmer. I do some triathlons as well, too. I'm not much of a runner, not much of a cyclist, but I can swim pretty well. But I think what inspires me about people are folks that are truly passionate about what they're doing. Wow. That, regardless of what it is, if you can have that, that's a great place to start.
Thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate you coming.
My pleasure.
All right.
My pleasure.